Hello friends, today we'll discuss very important topic, that is electrochemistry. What are the different formulas used in electrochemistry? We'll discuss today. So we know that R resistance is equal to rho into L by A. R is equal to rho into L by A. What is R? R means resistance. Rho is equal to resistivity, length of the conductor, and A is the area of the conductor. So R is equal to rho into L by A. Unit is, so implies rho is equal to R A upon L. That means the unit is ohm, area upon length is centimeter, or ohm meter. This is the unit of resistivity. Then kappa, conductivity is equal to 1 by rho. That means reciprocal of resistivity, which is equal to 1 by R into A by L, which is equal to 1 by R into L by A. 1 by R is equal conductance. L by A is called cell constant. So kappa is equal to, conductance symbol is G, its symbol taken as G. Then cell constant is G star. This is the new formula. Then unit will be how much? Reverse of this. So unit of conductivity is equal to ohm inverse centimeter inverse. Ohm inverse is taken as Simon S, centimeter inverse, or S meter inverse. So this is the unit of kappa. Resistivity, this resistivity rho is directly proportional to temperature. When temperature increases, the resistivity increases, but for the same substance rho is constant at particular temperature. Rho is directly proportional to temperature. Then another, that is lambda m. This is lambda m is called molar conductance, is equal to kappa into V. What is V? Volume of solution. Volume of solution in Cc containing 1 mole electrolyte. V is the volume containing 1 mole electrolyte. This equation equal to kappa into 1000 by capital M. This formula means volume of solution containing 1 mole electrolyte. Here let 1m solution means your 1m stand for molarity, number of mole per liter. Per liter means 1000 cc. So number of mole per liter. Number of mole present per liter means, suppose m mole in 1000 cc. So 1 mole will be 1000 upon m. What is that? That is V. What is V? V is the volume of solution containing 1 mole electrolyte. Let m mole electrolyte present in 1000 cc. So 1 mole present will be how much volume? 1000 by m. Here the solution contain 1 mole electrolyte, so volume will be 1000 by m. So this solution, this above equation K into V is equal to K into 1000 m. So in place of V can be written as 1000 by m. M means molarity. This solution lambda m will be here. Condition is K unit is S centimeter inverse. K should be in S centimeter inverse. But this equation can be written as kappa into 1 kappa upon 1 m into 1000. It will be kappa by m into 1000. That means here kappa unit is S meter inverse. So this is very important, this equation. When kappa will be in centimeter inverse, you use this formula. When kappa will be in meter inverse, we will use this formula. So this is lambda m. Then lambda equivalent. Lambda equivalent is equal to same kappa into V, but here V is the volume containing 1 gram equivalent substance. So same equation can be written as lambda equivalent is equal to kappa into 1000 by n. What is this? This is the 1000 upon n means it is the volume of solution containing 1 gram equivalent electrolyte. 1 gram equivalent electrolyte. And same can be written as kappa upon n into 1000. Here unit of kappa is S centimeter inverse. Here kappa unit is S meter inverse. Okay. So lambda equivalent means volume of solution containing 1 gram equivalent of electrolyte. Lambda m means volume of solution containing one mole electrolytes. So what is the relation between lambda equivalent and lambda m? Lambda m is equal to kappa. Suppose let it be this form, kappa into 1000 bar capital M. Then lambda equivalent is equal to kappa into 1000 by m. So suppose this is equation 1, this is equation 2. If you divide lambda m by lambda equivalent is equal to, everything will be cancelled, which will remain n by m. It will reverse. That means you can write in another way that lambda m into molarity is equal to lambda equivalent into normality. When you are calculating any problem, if molar conductance is known for the particular electrolyte, if lambda m is known, you can calculate lambda equivalent because normality and molarity solution will be given. If it will be given, then you can do like this. So normality, molarity, the relation is lambda m into m is equal to lambda equivalent into m. Or you can use this formula that we know. Another formula you can use that n is equal to small n into capital N. This formula if used, we can calculate directly. So lambda m n can be interchanged, can be replaced by using this formula. This formula also we can use. N is equal to nm. Okay, so this is the derivation relating to lambda equivalent. Then another lambda alpha. What is alpha? Degree of dissociation is equal to, in terms of lambda, that is lambda mc upon lambda m infinity. Alpha is equal to lambda c by lambda infinity. This is also very important calculation. So what is the unit of lambda? Unit of lambda m. Unit of lambda m is same, very easy, that lambda m is equal to kappa into 1000 by m. So kappa unit is as centimeter inverse. In this formula, kappa is centimeter inverse. Then m means molarity. Molarity means number of mole per liter. So it will be how much? As centimeter inverse into liter, then mole inverse. So which is equal to as centimeter inverse, liter is equal to centimeter cube. When liter is converted to centimeter, it will be centimeter cube. Value is not required, just we are converting the unit. So into mole inverse. So it is equal to how much? As centimeter square mole inverse. So this is your lambda m. Similarly, your lambda m and lambda equivalent, both lambda equivalent equal to as centimeter square gram equivalent inverse. This is very important to use this unit in different problems. So calculation of lambda infinite like this. Then if it undergo dissociation, for mono basic acid and monoacidic base for this Ka is equal to C alpha square by 1 minus alpha. What is C? C is the concentration, molar concentration, moles per liter. So what is alpha? Alpha is the degree of dissociation. K is equal to C alpha square by 1 minus alpha. Okay, this is regarding equivalent conductance, molar conductance, conductivity, resistivity of the different types of solution. The next part is your that Colas law. We know in Colas law that lambda m at infinite dilution, that is called limiting conductance of any electrolyte x dy is equal to x into lambda infinitive of a plus y into lambda infinity of b minus. That means conductance of any electrolyte at infinite dilution is equal to x times of lambda cation plus y times of conductance of anion. Means conductance of cation anion will be added. That is called Colas law. Sum of the conductance. Already know the statement. For any electrolyte, let it be lambda m infinity of suppose aluminium sulfate. Formula is 3(2) is equal to, as aluminium content, here the aluminium sulfate content 2 aluminium, so 2 into aluminium lambda m infinity of how many aluminium ion? 2. So 2 aluminium ion plus how many sulfate ion? 3. So 3 lambda infinity of sulfate ion. So cation anion you have to mention, the number of cation and number of anion also multiply. That is called your Colas law. Summation of all lambda m value at infinite dilution. Condition is at infinite dilution. Okay. Then if you plot a graph that lambda infinity, the relation is lambda m at any concentration is equal to lambda m at infinite dilution minus a into square root of c. This equation is a relation between what? Conductance, that is molar conductivity, and concentration. We know that So if you draw a graph that lambda m value with respect to concentration for strong electrolyte graph will be like this. This is for strong and this is for will be weak. This is for weak. So graphically the lambda infinitive, suppose this will be the lambda, this is your lambda, how much? M infinitive up to this for strong electrolyte. For weak electrolyte it is not possible. So calculation of lambda m infinity of weak electrolyte, we have to use Collard's law. We will take the help of Collard's law. We can calculate lambda m infinity of weak electrolyte because it is not touching to lambda axis. Then lambda, it is also observed, lambda m is directly proportional to dilution. This is also important relation. Lambda m is inversely proportional to concentration. This relation also important. Then lambda m directly proportional to, inversely proportional to size. Larger the size of ion, lower will be the conductivity, size of ions, concentration, dilutions. Then lambda m inversely proportional to density of solution. Density means viscosity. Density means viscosity. This is high viscous means highly concentrated, low lambda m value. So these are the size of your what? Size of the ions, concentration of solution, dilution, then density. But kappa is inversely proportional to volume. But lambda m is directly proportional to volume. Lambda m is directly proportional to volume. Lambda m is directly proportional to V. Dilution means V. If you add more water, volume will be more. Lambda m will be more. But your kappa will be just opposite. If you dilute the solution, kappa value will be decreased. Kappa value will be decreased. But in compared to this, there is a very important thing. Lambda m, what is that formula? Here, lambda m equal to kappa into volume. Lambda m is equal to kappa into volume. Here, when volume increases, kappa decreases, but lambda m increases. Increasing value of lambda is greater than decreasing value of kappa. Here, increasing value of lambda is greater than decreasing value of kappa. That's why resultant is increasing. If you add water, if you dilute the solution, ultimately lambda m will be increased because kappa is decreased, but lambda m will increase because ultimately both will be result. One is increase, other will decrease, but increasing value is more than the decreasing value. That's why always by increasing dilution lambda m increases. Okay, but increasing value is not very high. Value will be increased, but it will not be very high, not very sharply. Okay, this is the relation between lambda m and kappa. The next part of this is Faraday's law. We know Faraday's law that mass of substance is equal to Z into Q. What is Z? Electrochemical equivalent mass of substance. Q is the charge, that is quantity of electricity. So, which is equal to Z is electrochemical equivalent is equal to E by F into Q. What is E? E is the equivalent mass, F is the Faraday, Q is the quantity of electricity. If E will remain and F will remain, then Q is equal to I into T. What is this? W is the mass of substance is equal to ZQ. Every substance has Z value. Z is equal to E by F. What is E? E is the equivalent mass, F is the Faraday constant, Q is the quantity of electricity in Coulomb. E and Coulomb is equal to I into T. Ampere, current in ampere, time in second. So this is the formula, very important formula, calculation of W. Then this is the first law. This is regarding first law. Then second law is just W1 by W2 is equal to E1 by E2 is equal to Z1 by Z2. This is your second law. But second law condition is current should be same through all electrolyte. If you take different types of electrolyte in different electrolytic cell, then and pass same current through the electrolytic cell, then all mass deposited in different electrode, the ratio will be same, always constant. The ratio is always constant. Mass ratio, equivalent mass ratio, electrochemical equivalent ratio will be remain same. That's why this is regarding second law. One Faraday is equal to 96,500 Coulomb, which is equal to N0 electrons. Charge of N0. N0 means Avogadro's number. electrons. This is regarding Faraday. And 1 Faraday always produces 1 gram equivalent substance. Always produce 1 gram equivalent substance. Means if you pass 1 Faraday, it will give 1 gram hydrogen, 8 gram oxygen, 9 gram aluminium, 108 gram silver, like this. Current is same, but mass of substance produced depends upon their equivalent mass. Hydrogen 1, oxygen 8, aluminium 9, silver 108, because these are the equivalent mass of substance. And this Faraday, for example, if 1 mole aluminium ion converted to aluminium, 1 mole aluminium ion will be converted to aluminium. How many Faraday required? As the balance is 3, so this is 3 Faraday. As 3 electron, so 1 mole aluminium ion required 3 mole electron. 3 mole means 3 Faraday. And depends upon oxidation or reduction also. MnO4 minus 8H plus 5 electron convert to Mn2 plus 4 water. That's how 5 Faraday required per mole. It depends upon the how much mole of electron is utilized for the conversion, for the oxidation or reduction. Both case depends upon the number of mole of electron produced or number of mole of electron used. This is regarding Faraday first law and second law. Then product of electrolysis. We will discuss product of electrolysis is very important. For sodium chloride, liquid sodium chloride produce sodium and chlorine. Aqueous sodium chloride, aqueous produce hydrogen gas and oxygen gas, hydrogen gas and chlorine gas. Then copper sulfate, aqueous using copper rod, that is called attacking rod, attacking electrode. Result is copper ion and copper. Copper sulfate solution using platinum electrode. Result is here oxygen gas plus copper deposited. Here copper ion will not produce because no copper is used. If you use sulfuric acid, this is very important. Aqueous sulfuric acid, platinum electrode. Result is hydrogen gas and oxygen gas. If you use concentrated sulfuric acid, concentrated, that is concentrated, result is hydrogen gas plus not oxygen gas, that is your which ion? H2O72 minus ion will be produced in case of concentrated sulfuric acid. Dilute is hydrogen gas and oxygen gas, because the nature of solution it depends. If you use sodium hydride, aqueous, result is only hydrogen gas you will get. No sodium you will get because aqueous medium. It depends upon reactivity. As aqueous medium, sodium present, always hydrogen gas. Liquid without water, sodium. Copper, using copper, copper ion. Copper copper salt using platinum, copper deposited, but the result is it depends upon the anion. If you take copper sulfide, oxygen produced. If you take copper chloride using platinum rod, result is here fluorine and copper, not oxygen, because sulfate ion aqueous medium oxygen is produced, but a chloride ion always produce chlorine. This is the so many things you have to remember for the product of electrolysis. It has some features. Which electrolyte produce which substance at anode and cathode? It depends upon the nature of electrolyte, the nature of electrode, and the nature of ions produced in the solution. These are regarding the product of electrolysis. Then come to very important part of this, that we know electrode potential. If you take reduction potential is equal to minus of standard value oxidation potential, always opposite. And every cell has which potential? Cell potential. E of cell is equal to E of cathode minus E of anode. These are very important difference. Then for any half cell, E of cell, any half cell is equal to E naught of that cell, half cell, minus 0.059 by n log 1 upon metal ion concentration. This is very important for half cell. The half cell means, let the cell is like this. M plus N E changes to M. For this type of cell, the representation is E cell is equal to E naught cell minus E 0.059 by N log 1 by M plus F. For both cells, for complete cell, E cell, that is called cell potential, is equal to E naught cell. E naught cell is E cathode minus E anode, standard value, minus 0.059 by N log. Anodic ion concentration upon cathodic ion concentration, then power M, power N. This is the expression of what? Cell potential of a complete cell using N value. For example, Daniell cell. Daniell cell means your zinc convert to Zn2 plus 2E, and copper 2 plus 2E changes to copper. This is your Daniell cell. So for this cell, the cell representation is, for this cell, you have to write like this: E of this cell is equal to E naught of this cell minus 0.059 by, here N value will be 2. Right side is 2, left side is 2. That means 2 log, here anodic ion is Zn2 plus. Anodic ion means it is produced from anode, upon cathodic ion produced from cathode, that means copper 2 plus. As here one zinc ion, one copper ion, because already 2 electron, no coefficient will be multiplied, so it is 1, 1. So 1, 1 you may write or may not write. That is the what? Daniell cell. For example, another example, zinc Zn2 plus, suppose 1 m concentration, salt bridge upon silver ion, suppose 2 m concentration, let it be 2 m concentration, then silver. What is the expression of cell potential? That is called which formula? Nernst equation. This equation is called Nernst equation. That is, all this equation is called Nernst. N-E-R-N-S-T, Nernst equation. All these are called Nernst equation. Then for this zinc electrode and silver electrode. So what is the expression of cell potential? E of cell is equal to E naught cell. Sometimes E naught value will be given, or it will be given in terms of cathode and anode. If cathode value given, anode value given, then you will just deduct, then you put the value. If direct question given, then you can put minus 0.0591 upon what is the N value? As it is Zn2 plus Ag plus, if you balance it, it will be Zn changes to Zn2 plus 2E, then Ag plus changes to Ag, then you multiply 2 here, then 2 electron comes to 2 Ag. If what? 2 electron cancel. So 2 Ag plus is involved. So what is the anodic ion? Here anodic ion is what is log. Anodic ion is Zn2 plus upon what is your cathodic ion? Ag plus. But Ag plus 2 Ag plus, so Ag plus square. It will be Ag plus square. So this is very important to write the Nernst equation using different. Then the concept Zn2 plus concentration is 1 m. You will put here 1 m. And silver ion concentration is 2 m. You have to put 2 m. 2 to the power 2. Here 1 to the power 1. Then you will calculate the value. So this is regarding Nernst equation. Then the relation between del G and your electrode potential is del G is equal to minus NF E naught E cell. Del G 0 is equal to E naught 0. This formula, and your E naught of cell is equal to 2.303 RT by NF log Kc. What is Kc? Kc is the equilibrium constant. R is the gas constant, universal gas constant. T is the temperature, F is the Faraday, N is the number of electron loss or gain, like this. And here E naught cell can be written as 2.303 RT by NF log anodic ion concentration upon cathodic ion concentration. 2 per m. Already you know this derivation. So this is del G value, E naught value and E naught value. And efficiency of cell, and this is also equivalent to maximum work done. That is also maximum work done. If maximum work done is asked, you can calculate this value. E naught cell value and NF value. N is the number of electron loss or gain. F is the Faraday constant, that is 96,500 coulomb, and E is the electrode potential in volt. You can use this. Maximum work done formula is equal to your del G. Then efficiency is equal to del G by del H. What is del G? Free energy change. What is del H? Enthalpy change. That can be calculated. Which is equal to minus NFE by del H. You can also use this formula. And del H value, entropy change is equal to, in terms of entropy change, it can be calculated NF into del E by del T at constant pressure. What is del E? Del E is the change in electrode potential, T is the change in temperature, F is the Faraday constant, E is the number of electron loss or gain. You can. This is the entropy change. This is efficiency of the cell. This formula can be used. Very important for calculation. This one. Calculation of this. Then we know that electrochemical series. In electrochemical series, oxidizing character E naught value, electrode potential in terms of reduction. Reduction potential it also indicate the reducing character and oxidizing character of the element. If oxidizing reducing character, reducing nature is inversely proportional to E naught value. Inversely. High reduction potential means low reducing nature. Low reducing nature. And oxidizing nature is proportional to E naught. If reduction potential is high, oxidizing character will be high. This is also important relation that can be known from electrochemical series. Then reactivity of metal also directly proportional to, inversely proportional to E naught value. If high reduction potential, low reactive metal. Low reduction potential, high reactive metals. For example, zinc is more reactive than copper. Means zinc reduction potential of zinc is highly reactive, means reduction potential of zinc is less than reduction potential of copper. This is opposite. High reduction potential, low reactive. Zinc is more reactive than copper. This is the reactivity. If zinc is more reactive than copper, means zinc reduction potential is less than copper. And E naught value of your hydrogen electrode is always taken as 0. This is the reference electrode, always taken as 0. And E naught cell, for any E naught cell is equal to E cathode minus E anode. This principle already we discussed this. We can use. So this is regarding the different electrode potential. Then types of cell, their reaction, types of battery, that is also important. Dry cell Dry cell, that is also called as Lackland cell, and dry cell is anode is zinc, gets oxidized to Zn2 plus and 2 electron, and here manganese dioxide in presence of ammonium ion gets reduced to ammonia, and here MnO and oxide and hydroxide, that is the combination of oxide and hydroxide. Here 1 electron. So you have to multiply here 2, then if you add, you will get the final equation, that zinc plus 2MnO2 plus 2NH4 plus and just 2 ammonia plus Zn2 plus 2 MnOH. So this is the final equation of dry cell. Then mercury cell, these are primary cell. It is also a primary cell. Then mercury cell. Mercury cell is here. It is also a primary cell. What? Zinc in presence of OH minus convert to ZnO, then multiply 2, then water plus 2 electron. Okay. Second part is HgO, same, just opposite, plus water plus 2 electron, convert to Hg plus 2H minus, just opposite. The result is zinc plus HgO changes to ZnO plus Hg. As no ions is formed, that's why maintaining constant voltage. How much? 1.35 volt. Dry cell maintain 1.5 volt. It is voltage changes because due to formation of ions, and these ions, the ammonia which produce ammonia and Zn, they may react. Zn2 plus and ammonia reacting produce complex ion is produced. That's why the zinc container becomes thicker. That means the thickness decreases. That's why after long use, after long time, it will be converted to small hole. That's why leakage occurs. After a long day, this dry cell becomes leakage. That's why due to formation, due to reaction between ammonia and zinc. That's why the outer side coating of zinc becomes corroded. Next is your lead battery. That is lead battery. Here Pb is your anode in presence of sulfate ion converted to Pb sulfate plus 2 electrons. Then PbO2 as cathode in presence of same sulfate ion convert to PbSO4, and to balance oxygen here 2 water, then 4H plus 2 electron. Then you add, result is Pb plus PbO2 in presence of 4H plus and 2 sulfate ion convert to 2 PbSO4 plus 2 water. This cell can be recharged. So recharge reaction is reverse. This is your discharging discharging, and this is your reaction will be charging. If you charge the electrode, if you charge this cell, then reverse reaction occurs. When you write charging reaction, it will be 2 PbSO4 2 water convert to this. Discharging like this. So this is about around 2.0 volt produce. Then nickel cadmium cell. This is a secondary cell. This is called a secondary cell. It is also secondary cell. Here what happens? Cadmium in presence of OH2OH minus convert to CD hydroxide, cadmium hydroxide. Then cathode nickel dioxide convert to nickel hydroxide. Then you write 2 water. Here 2OH minus. Then hydrogen 4, 2 water. So oxygen 4. Now you are 2 electron here. Then here 2 electron. Cancel. Result is Cd plus NiO2 changes to here CdOH whole 2 plus NiOH whole 2. Here cancelled, electron cancelled, then 2 water, this side 2 water. So this is regarding reaction nickel cadmium cell. Voltage, same voltage like your lead battery, but it is more durable and costly. Then next is your fuel cell. Fuel cell, different types of fuel cells can be used. Methane fuel cell, methanol fuel cell, ethanol fuel cell, like this. Hydrogen, oxygen fuel cell. In a hydrogen oxygen fuel cell, generally hydrogen in presence of OH minus convert to water. Two electron. Okay. Then oxygen convert to 4 OH minus. Here are 2 water. It is balanced. Now you are 4 electron here, because right side 4 negative, you have 4 electron, left side 2 negative, 2 electron. Then to cancel this, you multiply 2 here. The result is 2H2 plus O2 changes to cancel 2H2. 4H2 or 2H2, remaining 2H2. So this is the final reaction of fuel cell. And it is high efficiency, 70% efficiency. Efficiency will be 70%, free of pollution, no pollution, and it is the best cell. But maintenance is important. Regularly you have to maintain hydrogen gas, oxygen gas from both sides for the running of the cell. Then rusting of iron. Rusting of iron, here this reaction takes place over iron. So iron gets oxidized to iron 2 plus, first step. First step, iron gets oxidized. Then oxygen in presence of water convert to, in presence of H plus ion, convert to water. Here oxygen presence of H plus ion convert to water. Here you multiply 2 to balance oxygen, then 4 H plus, so add 4 electron. Okay, so 4 electron required. Then result is Fe plus here multiply 2, so 2 Fe, then O2, 4H plus, convert to 2 Fe, 2 plus 2H2O. If you balance this is the final equation because 2 electron, 4 electron cancel. Then this is the final. Now in the first step, due to oxidation of iron and reduction of oxygen, produce what? Fe2 plus ion. Then finally what happens? This Fe2 plus ion again contact with oxygen in presence of X water gets converted to Fe2O3, that is ferric oxide and hydrated from. This is called H2O. This is called your what? Rust. So these are the some important reaction of different types of cell, that is battery. Okay, thank you.